You and a millionaire walk into the same bank. Same building, same logo, same little smile at the door, and the bank treats you two like completely different species. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. That difference isn't about you being smart or careful or good with money. It's about one number on a screen, and that number quietly decides whether the bank works for you or on you. Today I'm going to be you. We're climbing every level of wealth: broke, squeezed, comfortable, rich, untouchable, and at each one I'll show you the exact dollar figure where the bank flips, the fees they bury when you're poor, the rates they suddenly find when you're rich. By the end, you'll know exactly which level you're standing on. So let's start at the bottom, where I've got $8 to my name. Level 1. This is me with $8 in the account, 3 days before payday, and a hopeful relationship with my debit card. Here's how it actually feels down here. The bank isn't making money for me, it's making money off me, and it does it through fees so small they'd be funny if they weren't mine. Watch. A subscription I forgot about, let's say some app I downloaded once at 2 a.m., charges me $9. My balance was $8, so now I'm $1 short. $1. And the penalty for being $1 short, $35, an overdraft fee. Sit with that for a second. I was $1 under. The fine was $35. That's not a slap on the wrist, that's the whole arm. And it stacks. I don't notice for a few days because of course I don't. I'm avoiding the app, and some banks tack on another fee for staying negative. That $1 gap is now a $70 hole. I didn't buy anything. I didn't go on a spree. I was $1 short for a long weekend. Same bank, same logo, same smile at the door. For me, right now, it's a toll booth. And here's the quietly mean part of the design. The people most likely to be $1 short are the people who can least afford to lose $35. The fee isn't a punishment for being reckless. It's a tax on having a thin cushion. Down here, the closer you get to zero, the more being near zero costs you. Fun. Level 2. Now I've got a real paycheck landing every 2 weeks, a few thousand moving in and out. This is where most of us actually live, not broke, just permanently mid-month. And something shifts here, and it's so subtle you'd never feel it. On level 1, I was a cost. On level 2, I become useful. My paycheck lands, and for the days before I spend it, the bank takes my money and lends it out to someone else and keeps the interest. I'm not a customer anymore, I'm fuel. Here's the part that should make you tilt your head. The bank pays me, and I'm being generous, about 0.5% on my savings. Then it turns around and lends me my own money back, on a credit card, at 20-something%. It pays me 0.5%. It charges me 20. Same dollars, same building. Just pointed back at me with a price tag. So I float a $4,000 balance, car repair, a bad month, whatever, and that $4,000 has a little leash on it that runs straight back to the bank. Miss one payment and the rate jumps. A $30 late fee. A ding on my credit score that quietly makes my next loan more expensive too. Same bank, same logo, same smile. For me now, it's not a toll booth. It's a faucet that only runs one direction. And notice what they don't do. They don't push me away. They love me right here. A guy who owes them at 20% is the best customer they've got. Level 3. I've got 6 figures now, say $150,000 across savings and investments. And watch what happens, because it's almost magic. The fees just disappear. The overdraft that cost me $35 when I was broke, waived. The monthly account fee, gone. The wire transfer charge, quietly refunded, and I didn't even ask. The minimum balance penalty that defined my whole 20s, Doesn't apply, I blew past the minimum years ago. And somebody learns my name. I get an actual human, a relationship manager, a direct line instead of 40 minutes of hold music and a song I now hate. They're friendlier, more patient, more flexible when I need an exception. Not because I became a nicer person, because I became worth keeping. Run the same overdraft side by side. Broke me, $1 short, paid $35. Comfortable me overdraws by $3,000 and gets a friendly courtesy call, not a fee. Same bank, same logo. The exact same event, an account going negative, and one version of me gets fined and the other gets forgiven. The rule didn't change. I did. And here's the thing that should genuinely bother you, the rule that runs through this whole climb. The bank treats me better the less I actually need it. Down at $8, when $35 could end me, they took it. Up here, where I'd never miss it, they wave it away. The kindness flows toward the people who already have. Cool system. Level 4, $1 million and up. This is the door the millionaire from the start walked through, and now I'm walking through it too. And the whole relationship flips. Down on level 2, when I owed them a little, they owned me. Up here, when I owe them a lot, I own them. A bank with $1 million client is way more scared of losing me than I am of losing the bank. So they offer me things the branch downstairs will swear don't exist. The big one, a loan against my own investments. I've got $1 million in stock. I don't want to sell it. Selling means taxes. So the bank just lends me cash against it. I get hundreds of thousands in spendable money. My stock keeps growing like I never touched it, and I never sell a share. The interest rate? Often 3%. Stack those numbers. On level 2, I borrowed my own deposited money back at 20%. Up here, I borrow against $1 million at 3%. Same bank, same logo, same smile. The cheap rate goes to the version of me who needs the loan the least. And that's the whole machine in one line. The penalty for being broke is getting more broke. Fees that stack, rates that climb. The reward for being rich is getting more rich. Credit so cheap it's almost free. The ladder doesn't just sort us, it pushes us harder in whatever direction we were already going. If I walked back downstairs and asked a teller for a 3% loan against stock, they'd tell me it's not possible. And they'd be telling the truth. For that floor. 2 floors up, it's just Tuesday. Level 5. The top. Tens of millions and up. And up here, I don't really use the bank anymore. The bank works for me. The same institution that once took $35 because I was $1 short now hands me a team, bankers, tax people, lawyers, whose whole job is to find ways to reduce what I pay it. They'll structure my debt so it lowers my taxes. They'll move my money around so I keep more of it. The thing that used to find me now defends me. And the wild part? The overdraft fee, the minimum balance, the 20% rate. None of those were ever laws of nature. They were settings. They're generous up here because up here I'm sitting close to the people who control the dial. Same bank, same logo, same smile at the door. For broke me, it was a toll booth. For squeezed me, a one-way faucet. For comfortable me, a concierge. For rich me, a lender on its knees. And up here at the top, it's basically an employee. One building, one logo. 5 completely different banks, and the only thing that decides which one I walk into is a number on a screen. So here's the part that should change how you look at your own statement. You probably think the dangerous level is the bottom, being broke. It isn't. The most profitable version of you isn't the broke one and isn't the rich one. It's the one in the middle. Earning enough to borrow, not enough to negotiate, comfortable enough that you never look too hard. That's the trap. Not being poor. Being just rich enough for the bank to quietly make money off you, and just comfortable enough that you never notice it's happening. The warmth is real, by the way. The friendly teller, the app that says good morning. It's just priced to a number you never get to see. The bank doesn't hate you. It doesn't love you. It just looked at one number and priced you accordingly, same as it did to me on every single level of that climb. So here's the only question that actually matters. Which version of you did the bank meet today? And be honest, does it know something about your number that you don't?